Shanti Shanti Om Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Lord Krishna, the blessed son of Vasudeva Devaki, who gave immense joy to the mother, the spiritual preceptor of mankind, who killed Kamsa and Chanura, who were tormenting the world. Sri Krishna, who came to establish Dharma. Let us offer our salutations to him and pray to him to lead us from the unreal to real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Bhagavad Gita has shown us the way how to get into reality, how to bring the lamp of knowledge, how to get immortality. So Bhagavad Gita is very important spiritual text for practicing spiritual life. We are discussing turn karma into karma yoga, and still I am continuing the topic. Lots of verses from the chapter 2 have connection with chapter 3. Lord Krishna says in chapter 2 verse number 48, Yogastaha kuru karmani Sangam tektva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Arjun, do your duties without attachment. Be equanimous in success or failure. This equanimity is called yoga. Doing the duty properly with love and devotion and dedication turns itself into karma yoga. If you don't connect it with spiritual ideas and ideal, it remains as karma, which binds you into this world more and more, which brings you more and more misery and suffering. So we must definitely know the technique of making karma into karma yoga. So Lord Krishna has clearly shown us how to do it. It has become a fashion, as it were, to refer to some important people who are very busy in their worldly way of life. Morning 6 o'clock, you can't even take one sandwich. He runs. That aspect is correct. He is running for work. Oh, how he is devoted to work. And returns back very late. totally exhausted. No doubt he has done work, but the way people refer to such people who work very hard from morning to night as karma yogi. The word is really abused in a way. Machines also do tremendous work. Can you call them a yogi? Karma yogi? Well, he who is able to maintain the balance of mind, who doesn't displace ego, who doesn't displace arrogance and haughtiness, who is humble, devoted. He who, having these qualities, who is doing work morning 6 o'clock up to 7 o'clock in the night, you can call him as a karma yogi, not others. Siddhya siddhyoho samo bhutva. Whether the desired result comes or not, either way, he must be able to remain completely calm within. I have done my duty as perfectly as possible, according to my ability. There you feel tremendous satisfaction. There the matter ends. Results come, and results to come have so many factors. It's not simply about doing the work. You might have done excellent work, but because of some politics and because of some selfish people, jealous people interfering in your way of work, may downgrade. So, what I mean to say is, the result depends on so many factors. So, don't bother about the results. Your focus should be to do things properly, perfectly, devotedly, dedicated way. That becomes karma yoga. That means you are purifying yourself, you are uplifting your mind, you are trying to establish good character. So, equanimity is the key or secret of karma yoga. If you are able to remain absolutely calm in the face of misfortune and maintain your samabhava when beset with calamity, then you are a veritable god. In short, cultivating samabhava is the first and foremost thing in the Vedantic way of life. Hold on to the principle and carry on your work as worship. So when you consider work as duty, with an attitude of spiritual upliftment, then it paves the way for spiritual glory. Lord Krishna goes on to say, verse number 49, chapter 2, Durena hyavarang karma, buddhi yoga dhananjaya, buddhau sharanamanvicha, kripanaha palahetavaha. Sri Krishna says, Arjun, he addressed him Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means Dhanam Jayati iti Dhananjaya, meaning that Arjun had defeated many kings and brought all their wealth. Now Krishna calls him Dhananjaya with a specific purpose. He says to him, you are up to now motivated by all sorts of desires. Your intellect was attached to desire. You were never contented. Bring about a change in your attitude now. How to do it? Take refuge in equanimity. Buddhi Yoga means a karmi becoming karma yogi with an equanimous mind developed through Vedantic knowledge. Lord Krishna is categorically telling his devotee that the only way to progress is to cultivate equanimity. That is maintaining balance of mind. Not becoming upset for any things. Getting irritated every moment. Arjun, if you continue to work with the idea of getting the fruits of your action, wretched are you. Sri Krishna, without mincing words, explains Karma Yoga. Consciously and diligently, he tells him to cultivate samabhava. When sukha and dukkha come, they come. They won't ask your permission whether they should come or not. They come of their own accord, whether you like them or not. So what should be done? Do you want to run away? Do you want to commit suicide? No, that's not the way. When sukha and dukkha come, pain and pleasure, when they come, try to outlive them. Do not dwell upon them. A mind with samabhava is in league with so many good forces of the world. The intellect naturally develops with such a mind. Difficult passages of scriptures reveal the true meaning. Much more than all this is the inner serenity and ananda, bliss which you get. Therefore, take refuge in samabuddhi, that is, equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate. When you are able to maintain equanimity, that is your true yogi. Verse number 50, chapter 2. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukada duskrite tasmad yoga yujyasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Karma yoga is not a new karma. The kaushalam referred to here is Vedantic dexterity, not intellectual crookedness. If you have an equanimous mind, you can cut across sukha and dukkha, pain and pleasure. Why do we do good actions? Because we think they will yield good results, which in turn means sukha, happiness, which is a feeling coming in the mind. Similarly, why do we avoid bad deeds? Because they will yield bad results, give us unhappiness, which again is a feeling in the mind. If we outlive sukha and dukkha right now, why be afraid of the outcome of good or bad actions? If by doing bad deeds you can have a wonderful life, all of us will do so. We do not do it because if we start cutting others' throats, we are afraid they will cut our throats. Somebody asked, if after developing an equanimous mind, one coolly starts cutting others' throats, will there be a sin? The reply was that if that person is caught and taken to the gallows, and there also facing his death he exhibits the same equanimity, no sin will accrue to him. A karma yogi can never do sin. Sin is motivated by selfishness. When selfishness is not there, how will sin come? The various do's and don'ts are only for selfish people. who do not understand what true religion is. Vedanta alone says, read me, assimilate me, and then throw me away. Karma Yoga is a dexterous process. There is no pinching effect while doing Karma Yoga. For example, why do you all go to offices and plod through 7 hours work which does not interest you in the least? Because you will argue, if I do not go, I will lose my job, and if I lose it, I cannot support my family. Don't you have a pinching effect here? Yes. Take away this pinching effect and do the work. That work becomes Karma Yoga automatically. You must have philosophy. Without philosophy you can't sustain. So philosophy is the foundation of spiritual life. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi palam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gachanti namayam. Verse number 51, chapter 2. Manishinaha means wise people who have left off all attachments, having renounced the fruit of actions and freed themselves from the fetters of birth and death. This worldly life is bondage. Sri Krishna uses the term vinirmukha. Mukha means freed. Nirmukha means absolutely freed. And vinirmukha means wonderfully and absolutely freed. That mukti which you get is always permanent and comes to you even while you are alive. The world is a pond in which, if you know swimming, you can have a refreshing bath and attain ananda. If you do not know swimming, you will be drowned. Misery would be your lot. Arjun asks, O Lord, how long am I to do Karma Yoga for attaining mukti? Sri Krishna says in verse number 52, chapter 2, Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. 53. Sudhi vipratipannate yada sthasthiti nischala samadha vachala buddhihi tada yogam avapsyasi. We think that life means go on accumulating wealth. Every day we get up and do certain things mechanically. All our tendencies are extrovert in nature. Moha Kalilam means that force which clouds the discriminative faculty which knows what is real and unreal and what is permanent and impermanent and leads the mind towards the Vishyas, in short, the basic avidya. By cultivation of samabhava, equanimity, we can outlive the extrovert tendencies in us. We will become totally indifferent to all the do's and don'ts of the Shastras. We will transcend what we have heard hitherto as well as what we have yet to hear about the religion and the do's and don'ts normally in vogue. You will have no necessity for them, for what you are aiming at unconsciously and what you are getting during some fleeting moments and in a very limited form while doing your religious practices are small samples of the Vedantic Samabhava. You did not know this fact hitherto because that experience came to you unconsciously and in an indirect way. Now you know the secret. Cultivate Samabhava directly with control over it. Free yourself from such religious limitations and cultivating Samabhava, attain a standard of perfection in it. Then a special awakening will dawn in you rather unexpectedly. In other words, the thoughtless awareness will suddenly dawn one day and the mind will go back to its source. Then you will be in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Till then you have to go on practicing Karma Yoga. There is no period prescribed for it. Each will attain this according to the intensity of his practice and his spiritual development. That means one must be conscious, that's very important, about his inner functioning, not making any show outwardly. So, the more you introspect yourself, the more you look into yourself, you will be able to take steps for improving yourself. Don't compare yourself to anybody. No comparison in the matter of spirituality. You have to go in your own way. You have to go in a proper way. You have to use your system, body, mind system, in a proper way. Comparison will not help you. When Arjuna hears Krishna going on extolling this Sthitadi state, the man of steady wisdom, he has a genuine doubt. He asks a question in the beginning of the 3rd chapter, which indicates that he had not understood the purport of Krishna's preceding advice. He could not understand the idea Krishna wanted to convey. So he asks, Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore mam niyojesi keshava. O Lord, if your opinion is that buddhi is better than karma, then why are you enjoining me to a karma that is so terrible? Verse number 3, chapter number 3, verse number 1. Arjuna's doubt is reasonable and intelligent. We will briefly recapitulate what Lord Krishna had said in the 2nd chapter. First, Lord Krishna tacitly tells Arjuna to fight. Klaibyam masmama partha naitatva yupapadyate shudram hridodbalyam tektottishta parantapa. O Partha, don't be an imbecile. This does not behove you. Throw away this degrading weakness and get up. But as Arjuna was depressed and could not fight, he asked Krishna, what am I to do? I am afflicted with the world. Tell me the method by which I can outlive this sukha right now. Tell me the method by which I can outlive the dukkha, this unhappiness, this unpleasantness right now. Lord Krishna goes on giving him the Sankhya Tattva, which we studied in the 2nd chapter. You are not the body or mind, you are the infinite soul that never dies and is never born. The moment you realize it, you will have no more sukha or dukkha, pleasure or pain. People who can perceive the reality know that the unreal does not ever exist and the reality never ceases to exist. Anything that has the nature of coming and going is unreal. Pain and pleasure are unreal. Why? Because they come and go. Agama painaha. They come to go. So why do you worry about them? Instead of fixing yourself to the changing world, hold on to the non-changing reality, the Atman. Make the very world which is giving you so much misery now, make this very world your teacher, helping you to transcend it. Esha te bihita sankye buddhir yoge tumam shranu buddhya yukto ya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Verse 29 and verse 39, chapter 2. I have hereunto told you the wisdom pertaining to Sankhya or Jnana Yoga. I am now going to tell you how this Sankhya Buddhi is to be brought to the practical world, into practical field, and made to permeate your actions, turning your ordinary karma into Karma Yoga. If you enjoin yourself to that Buddhi, you can cut across the bondage of karma and the karma you perform will not bind you. So the technique you should know, and knowing it you should apply it. Again the 47th verse Lord Krishna says, chapter 2, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma palehetur bhurmate sangostva karmani. Arjun, your competency is only for karma and not for jnana nishtha. Do not leave karma and run away. Do not hanker after the result of your actions, and let not the desire for the fruit of action be the propelling force behind your actions. Be not also inactive. Durena hyavarang karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anivishya kripanaha parahetavaha. Arjun, karma is much inferior to buddhi. So take refuge in buddhi. Buddhi means intellect. Those who do karma with desire for the fruit are wretched. Naturally, Arjun is confused. So he asks, if you think buddhi is much superior to karma, why are you asking me to do this terrible karma of fighting the war? And further, Vyamishrena vakyena buddhi moya sevame tadekam vadanishchitya yena shayoham apniyam. Verse number 2, chapter 3. It seems as though you are confusing me, O Lord, by seemingly contradictory expressions. Your expressions are mixed and involved. So tell me in a determined way the one thing by which I can attain Shreyas. Conclusively tell me the one thing that I should do. When Krishna used the terms buddhi, yoga, jnana, karma, etc., he used them in a certain context and meaning, and Arjun had understood them wrongly. He had not understood the correct purport of what Krishna said. After giving the Sankhya Tattva, why did Krishna say, I am now going to tell how you can make this Tattva saturate your actions and transform them into Karma Yoga? Because Lord Krishna knew that Arjun was not ripe enough for Sankhya Yoga. Who is fit for Sankhya Yoga? A man who either on hearing Vedantic lectures or reading books on Vedanta suddenly leaves off home and betakes himself away from the worldly life. He has no clinging or attachment to the world, no duty consciousness. He has realized that the transcendent world cannot give him lasting happiness, and his only aim is liberation. He is rid of raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes. As Sri Krishna says in the 3rd chapter, verse number 18, Naiva tasya kritena artho na kriteneha kaschana nachasya sarvabhuteshu kaschidartha vyapashriyaha. The Sankhyas have nothing to be attained by doing work, and they have nothing to avoid by abstain from work. In short, the world has nothing to offer them. Sankhya Yoga is only for such people. But Arjun has not reached that state. He is full of likes and dislikes. His very weakness and apparent vairagya, dispassion, are born of a feeling of hatred at having to kill Bhishma and Drona. He is not rid of attachment. So Krishna says, I will tell you how to permeate your actions with Sankhya Tattva and transform the very karma you do into Karma Yoga. For your competency now is only for doing action and not for the inaction of the Sankhya Yogis. That means you cannot become a sannyasi. You are not rid of raga and dvesha. So, reinforcing your buddhi with Sankhya Tattva, you should work on in the world without attachment. If you do so, the actions will not bind you. Then he also says, Durena hyavarang karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhau sharanam anvichya kripanaha palahetava. Action done with attachment and desire for fruit is much inferior to action done by enjoining yourself to Sankhya Tattva. The karma that is ordinarily done by you with raga and dvesh is much inferior to the actions that you will do if you make them saturated with the understanding of the Sankhya Tattva. When you understand Sankhya Tattva, you will cultivate Samabhava, outlive Sukha and Dukkha, and rid yourself of Raga and Dvesha. When you act thus, your actions will become Karma Yoga. If you continue to act with Raga and Dvesha, you will be wretched. So Buddhi Yoga means karma turned into Karma Yoga with the help of Sankhya Buddhi. In effect, by cultivating Samabuddhi. So what Krishna meant and what Arjuna understood by that shloka were widely different. Hence Arjuna's confusion. Understanding Arjuna's confusion, Lord Krishna begins to explain this tattva right from the beginning. Lokesmin vividha nishtha pura prokta maya nagha jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. Verse number 3. In this world, right from the beginning, from antiquity, there has been one nishtha way known by two different names. The nishtha for Sankhyas is known as Jnana Yoga, and that for Karma Yogis is as Karma Yoga. Many people interpret Vividha Nishtha as two Nishthas, but that is not correct. If it had been two, Lord Krishna would have used the dual number, Dividhe Nishthe, but he did not say like that. It ought to be interpreted as Eka Eva Nishtha Tatapi Dvividaha. That is, only one Nishtha known by two names, apparently different. Those two differ only in degrees and not in essence or content. The popular concept is that in the Bhagavad Gita there are three yogas described: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga. It is not so. It is only one yoga known by different names to suit individual tendencies. This is one yoga. As we say, Ekam Sadva Ekam Sadvipra Bhuda Vadanti. There is only one God, assuming different forms to suit different types of people. Some worship Shiva, some worship Vishnu, some worship Kali, some worship Shakti, and so on. But in principle, God is only one. One with many faces. In order to satisfy the different temperaments. So, ultimately there is only one yoga. God is there, I am here. God and I must become one. This is all the yoga, becoming one with God. Union with God. That is the meaning of yoga. To get united. To go into the source. Our work converted into a means of attaining God is called Karma Yoga. Our love and emotion turned towards attaining God as Bhakti Yoga. And our wisdom, intellect used as a means to reach God as Jnana Yoga. Ultimately, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga are one and one only. If we take them as separate, then we have to lengthen the list, as there are not only these three but altogether 18 yogas in Bhagavad Gita. In the first chapter there is the yoga of grief, Vishada Yoga. What does it mean? A man is afflicted by sorrow. Say his child dies. Ordinarily what do men do? They are grief-stricken for some time. As time passes, the grief becomes less and less acute, and in course of time, they are their old selves. The shock has not taught them any lesson. On the other hand, there may be another man who has to face a similar tragedy but faces it differently. He starts thinking, what is this? I thought my son will outlive me and that I can have sukha, happiness from him till my death. I took his living for granted and built my plans around him. yet he is dead now. What I thought to be permanent has turned out to be transient. If I pin my faith on such transient objects, I am doomed to disappointment. I must shift my vision to something higher, something which will not betray me. By doing such analysis, he turns Godward. He has turned his Vishada, grief, into Vishada Yoga, a method to attain God realization. So also, anything and everything can be turned into yoga. For example, Kirtana Yoga. People say, do Kirtan, you finally get into the ultimate reality. It is true. Tyagaraja, famous saint, just by singing and singing, he attained that highest state of freedom. There are many, many saints that way. Purandardas in Karnataka, very famous. Several thousand verses he has composed on the spirituality, taking day-to-day experience in life in a very simple but most effective way. Purandardas had given the spiritual ideas through small poems, some of which I sing in the bhajan here. Anything and everything can set you thinking and turn you Godward. It depends upon one's spiritual development. One person was telling how he came to Vedanta. He was a college student. One day he was sitting in his room, in the classroom. Somebody gave him the book. And that book was about Swami Vivekananda. Small book. It's not a big volume. Very small book. So he says that was a turning point. That book inspired me so much. Thenceforward, I determined to come to Vedanta. And later on he became very good devotee of the Ramakrishna Math. So when you are sufficiently ripe or mature and sincere, that's the time for somebody to come and direct you, show you the way to liberation. He cannot but come. Take the example of Sri Ramakrishna. He didn't run after the Gurus. The Gurus came to him. There was tremendous attraction generated from Sri Ramakrishna. That Gurus were seeking him. Where is that finest person? And Totapuri came and initiated him to sannyas. So he is telling he cannot but come. Be absolutely sure about that. Absolutely sure. When you are ready, definitely you get it. Some people act in a hasty way, in an immature way. Before being ready, they do some hasty actions and get into trouble. Afterwards blaming everybody. So according to Sri Krishna, there is only one yoga having different names. The Sankhya yogis approach the infinite reality through Jnana Yoga, and the Karma yogis through Karma Yoga. The essence in both is the same. The difference being only in degrees. The Sankhya yogi has no attachment and clinging. So he leaves the society and starts meditating on the Supreme in a lonely place, solitary place, in a forest, in a hermitage. The karmi is not rid of attachment and raga and dvesha. So what he has to do? He has to convert his actions into karma yoga and cultivate equanimity within himself. He has to outlive likes and dislikes. As he cultivates more and more samabhava, equanimity, he becomes happier and happier. The secret of true happiness lies in samabhava, or absence of ragadvesha. We go to Rishikesh, Badrinath, come back and say, oh, it was wonderful, fantastic. I was so happy and peaceful there. What is the real reason? You were in the midst of wonderful expanses of nature. There was not so much of activity and you were practically free from raga and dvesha, as there was not much people, much scope for these twin forces to sprout. It was the equanimity of your mind caused by the limited absence of raga and dvesha which gave you happiness. So, you are happy in Samabhava and not in Badrinath. You came back and are once again experiencing raga dvesha of everyday life. Not having Samabhava now. You are unhappy. So, the happiness lies not in Badrinath or Kedarinath, but in yourself. But our mental attitude governs our lives. So, how very important it is to maintain the mental attitude. That's why it's a good tradition. As soon as we get up from the bed, the first thing is go and see some deity. That's why we used to have pictures of deities in the home. The idea is, as soon as you get up, you must see the deity so that mind gets in touch with the divine. Soldiers go to the front. Their primary duty is to kill, and nobody considers them as murderers. Why? Because their attitude is, or must be, I am just an instrument in the hands of a greater power. I am not engaging in this because of any personal likes or dislikes, but because it is my duty to serve my motherland, so I am doing. Whether I am killed or they are killed, I must be unattached. I have nothing to gain. On the other hand, let a soldier return from the war front and kill somebody. He is immediately taken into custody, tried, and most probably given capital punishment. What is the difference? Only his attitude. In the war front he was killing dozens of persons, but was doing it as a karma yogi. Here he kills only one person, yet he does it through ragadvesh, because of personal dislike or hatred. So, each one of you must decide for yourself whether you are a karma yogi or a sankhya yogi. Most of you would be having the attachment, my family, my job, my duty, etc. So you do karma yoga. Work on as before, but without attachment. You must have the attitude, I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer. You can eat, drink, hear, touch, fondle your child, etc. But beneath it all, there must be detachment. You must be able to feel the same detachment whether you are doing something or enjoying something or another person is doing. You must try to be rid of kartritva bhava and bhoktritva bhava. The notions that you are the doer, you are the enjoyer. It's my body and mind which are working, not I. I am the unchanging perceiver within, must be your attitude. Having this sakshi bhava, attitude of a witness, fix your sight on the infinite reality seated within yourself and shift your personality from the psycho-physical center to the spiritual center. Stand as a witness to all activities. Naiva kinchit karomi iti, saying I am not doing anything. The indriyas are doing their jobs. I am unconnected. This should be your inner attitude. This karma yoga is only jnana yoga watered down. You evolve gradually, think it over, and if you are not qualified for Sankhya yoga, then decide right now that you will be a karma yogi. Vedanta requires paurusha, courage and determination. Have paurusha to attain moksha. Nakarmanam arambhat naishkarmyam purushošnute nasa sanyasanadeva siddhim samadhigacchati. Paurusha really means a human being alive with the infinite spirit within. It does not refer only to men, excluding women. O Arjun, by refusing to start activity, by refusing to engage in action, human beings do not attain perfection. by mere sannyas, leaving away society and going to jungles. That is by external sannyas, a man does not get siddhi. By siddhi is meant jnana siddhi or jnana prapatti, attainment of jnana, and not popularity or prestige. What is or ought to be the purpose of sannyas? Attainment of jnana and moksha. We shall stop here. Announcements. Another important, most important event coming up in the month of July, first Sunday, the first. That is the consecration of phase 1 of Sri Ramakrishna Universal Temple. The program is arranged from morning 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will be Navagraha Homa, Ganapati Homa and Sri Ramakrishna Homa performances will be done, and Archanas will be there. You are all heartily welcome to participate in these programs. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self down deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bath my weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy. How huge then is perishableness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O may mind be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for Thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is Thy servant, O sweet one. In Thy mercy consider him as dust beneath Thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when the instant separation from Thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without Thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at Thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of Thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of Thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O Thou who stillest the hearts of Thy devotees, do with me what Thou wilt, for Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth. May all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He becomes satisfied, the whole universe is satisfied.